Welcome everyone to another session here of the Unit Talks with the DAAD. Today we are very happy to have with us once again the University of Freiburg with us. They're going to be talking about the programs that they have in engineering and computer sciences, as well as talking about the beautiful city of Freiburg and the university as well. And for that, we are not the experts. With my colleague Claudia, we have two experts from the university joining us live today from Freiburg. And we have Martina Nopper and Svenja Andresen, and they are going to be sharing with us the presentation. As we mentioned, you can, if you have any questions during the presentation, you can write them in the chat, and we're going to answer them at the end of the presentation. And also at the end, we're going to have some time. So if you want to say your question out loud, we can always activate your microphone as well in the end, and then we can answer all of your questions over there. So without further ado, thank you very much, Mrs. Andreas and Mrs. Nopper, for joining us today and for choosing Chile once again to do this presentation and for bringing the university closer to us. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Chile. I hope the audio is rather fine, okay, because I hear a slight echo. We are in one of our lecture halls, and if it's empty, then it's really, echoey. So I hope most of you at least are interested in studying something like engineering or computer science, because we like to give you some information about your possibilities to do so here at the University of Freiburg in the southwestern part of Germany, near Switzerland and France. So please allow me to introduce our university and our study programs. And I'm just, And also allow me to present ourselves first, so you know who is talking to you or at you and who can hopefully answer your questions. My name is Martina Nopper. I'm the academic advisor and program coordinator for computer science and embedded systems engineering. And joining me today is my colleague Svenja Andresen. She is the program coordinator for microsystems engineering. She will take over the second part of our presentation today. To offer you an impression of what life is like here at our university, we have prepared a short film clip, and I would like to try and show this one to you. I have to end the presentation for that, so Svenja can hopefully start the film. Let's hope the technique works.
Yeah, I've arrived.
All right, I checked into it for you. Nice. They even got robotics. Take a look.
The University of Freiburg provides excellent research facilities and equipment and know-how, and furthermore, Freiburg is a great city.
The university conducts top-level research in so many areas on top. For example, microsystem technology, biology, humanities, in so many areas, in nearly every field. Impressive.
Right, then back to the presentation. All right, so maybe this gave you an impression. You have seen a short clip of our city center and of one of our robots trying to navigate this old city center with its cobblestone streets and so on. So who knows, maybe you will one day be one of the students also taking our Obelix for a walk. The University of Freiburg is quite old and renowned. in Germany as well as worldwide, or at least in a lot of parts of the world. Currently, we have about 24,000 students enrolled in more than 280 study programs, different study programs, which are offered by 11 different faculties. And we'd like to take a closer look at one of those faculties, our very own faculty, the Faculty of Engineering. Now, this one is not nearly as old as the university. We had our 25th birthday in 2020. So we have a much more modern touch, not only regarding the subjects, but also the buildings and the infrastructure here. At the moment, we have about 2,400 students. This number has gone up a bit. And about a fifth of them are women. It's not really unusual for Germany that the female percentage in the engineering subjects is a bit low. We'd love to increase that number, so maybe if you're interested in coming here as a woman student, you would be very welcome. About a third of our students are international, and almost 40 nations are represented here on our campus. I just checked, currently in this very winter semester, we have 5 students enrolled from Chile, so maybe you would like to increase that number as well. The Faculty of Engineering consists of 3 different departments. Those are Computer Science, Microsystems Engineering, and Sustainable Systems Engineering. And these departments give our faculty its motto, which is we are smart, micro, and green. The combination of these departments, which their fields of expertise, is quite unique in Germany. And this, together with our connection to the 5 Fraunhofer institutes located here in Freiburg, this makes us one of the most research-intensive engineering faculties in Germany. We also receive a quite comfortable amount of money through external funding, and some of that is used to fund student jobs, which in turn offers you an option to finance at least parts of your studies here. The number of the patents each year and the startups coming from our faculty are proof of our founder spirit. Some examples for our latest research projects include, for example, the development of an autonomous drone navigation system for urban search and rescue missions, providing a training and research platform for life science areas working with big data problems like RNA sequencing or something like that, or using sensor systems and sensor data to determine the ripeness of grapes. You've got a lot of vineyards here, I think Chile is quite well renowned for wine as well. Maybe you would like to try our wine. Autonomous improvements of artificial limbs by using sensor data is also an option we are doing research on. Or we even have a system analyzing the metabolism of tumor tissue on organic organ-on-chip systems. So we are very versatile in our research topics, and maybe you are interested in one of them. But to be able to work in such exciting and relevant and modern fields, you need to have the coding knowledge base, obviously. And therefore, we have got 4 master degree programs, which are oriented largely on our main research areas of the departments, again, following our motto, smart, micro, and green. And these degree programs are computer science, embedded systems engineering, Microsystems Engineering, and Sustainable Systems Engineering. Now, the overall structure of these programs, it corresponds to the common European standard with a scope of 120 ECTS credit points. The standard duration would be 4 semesters or 2 years, but I have to admit a lot of students, especially in the last semesters due to Corona, take a bit longer, 5 semesters or 6. It depends on how long you can stay regarding to your visa or also the financial situation. During your last semester, you would be expected to write a master thesis. The language of instruction in our programs is English. And in addition to the general administrative fees, there are study fees for international, meaning non-EU students, of 3,000 euros per year. While all of these programs are research-oriented, a degree in one of them obviously allows for career in industry as well. We also offer bachelor programs in the same areas, but those would be German-based, and you would be expected to bring very good German language skills with your application for those programs already. Now, for a look at the different programs, let's start with our smart ones, computer science and embedded systems engineering. Can you imagine or maybe remember a life completely without computer science? I think in these days it's nearly inconceivable. I mean, using smartphones, social media, navigation devices, search engines, online shopping, it's standard behavior meanwhile. And none of that would exist without computer science. So being an expert in one or more areas of computer science will provide you with job options in very versatile fields, energy sector, the media or entertainment industry, biotechnology, obviously some kind of software development, and who knows what else. With our master program, we address people with a first degree in computer science or a closely related field. So we do expect you to have quite extensive theoretical knowledge as well, in addition to a good foundation of the practical aspects of computer science. The program has a quite flexible and customizable syllabus. We provide the structure and you fill it with your preferred lectures or lab courses or seminars. You can either choose a so-called open curriculum, building your own individual study plan within a framework, or specialize in either artificial intelligence or in cyber-physical systems. The details may change a bit from time to time regarding the topics of our seminars and lectures, because our lecturers and professors are very keen to keep to their research areas as closely as possible. They are quite active in research and you can benefit of that in result because you have a seminar on the current research topics. So just for one instance, Professor Teschner is one of the experts in computer graphics here, especially regarding the graphical simulation of fluids. And you actually might have seen some of his work when watching a Pixar film with a river flooding or something, or even adverts where fancy new cars are driving through rain-flooded streets. That's not filmed, it's actually rendered. So another program that can be labeled as smart is our embedded systems engineering. Whether in the medical technology, automotive industry, telecommunications, whatever, embedded systems play a central role in the latest technological developments. And embedded systems can be explained as a system that can actually feel, think, and act. Feel through sensor data, think through the programming and data analysis, and act by giving the correct impulses to actuators and the surrounding environment. Embedded systems are the connection between engineering and computer science. And consequently, this program is offered jointly by our departments of computer science and microsystems engineering. With this program, we aim at students with a background of either information technology, electronics, electrical engineering, computer science, or something similar. Previous knowledge in mathematics, foundations of computer science, basic physics and electrical engineering knowledge is expected. So possible occupational fields would overlap a bit with those of computer science, but mainly include also medical engineering, biomedical engineering actually, transportation sectors, also IT security, for example, multimedia, and many more. The syllabus for embedded systems engineering consists of 4 mandatory areas, some essential lectures and numerous elective courses in computer science, advanced courses and a concentration area in microsystems engineering, and you can again select courses according to your interests and talents and prerequisites probably as well, while making sure to end up with a good balance of these areas of more the software area and more the engineering area. Overall, you can compile your own personal skill profile by following a rather open curriculum, or also, again, choose a specialization in one of our 6 areas mentioned here. And now I'd like to hand over to Svenja for the next 2 programs and the final part of the presentation.
Okay, hello, welcome from my side. Hola, muy buenos días. And yeah, so we're not only smart, but also microsystems engineering. As you can see from the picture, is a small technology, but with a huge potential and characterized by interdisciplinary work and research. Microsystems engineering is the engineering discipline with the broadest focus, and it combines elements from mathematics, physics, chemistry, electrical engineering, and material science, and all these areas, they form the cornerstones of exciting innovations. We want to address applicants with a degree from electronics, mechatronics, biomedical engineering, and other related disciplines. After you finished up your degree, you will be able to work for companies that are active in fields such as electronics, the automotive sector, mechanical, or even biomedical engineering. You will attend a couple of core courses in the first year, to equip you with a broad knowledge base. And in your second year, you will choose one concentration. We offer 4 concentration in order to realize your individual interests. We also offer a customized course selection area where students could complete courses from other departments, German language courses, or classes in project management and scientific writing. Examples of our research focuses are at our institute: energy autonomous microsystems, smart systems integration, lab on a chip and medical MEMS, smart materials, surfaces and processes, and also optical systems. With over 20 professors, the IMTech is one of the leading academic research centers in microsystems engineering in the world. So we're smart, we're micro, and we're green. Freiburg is in fact known worldwide for being the green city. And since 2015, Freiburg, or the Faculty of Engineering, has been active from an engineering perspective with its own department for sustainability research. So imagine, just talking about sustainability, but would actively contribute to how materials, energy systems, and technologies of the future are developed. So we also train the engineers of the future with our master's degree program, Sustainable Systems Engineering. The admission requirements for this program would be a bachelor's degree in engineering or science with a total of 180 ECTS and at least a duration of 3 years. No problem. Thank you. The Institute expects an overall bachelor's grade of 2.5 on the German grading scale. And as another prerequisite, they expect a minimum of 30 ECTS in one of the 3 mentioned areas, which are mathematics and information technology, chemistry and physics, and engineering. You need a certificate of English proficiency with a level of at least B2. For more details, you can see the application information on their website as well. It's also recommended to read the selection statute. Okay, the program teaches in-depth engineering skills such as, they have 3 technical concentration areas, which are energy systems engineering, resilience engineering, and sustainable materials engineering. Then they have a variety of electives as well as interdisciplinary modules to strengthen the holistic understanding of sustainability. Example of topics you will come across during your studies of SSE, as we call it, would be energy systems, sustainable materials, resilience engineering, and also information processing technologies. You have really a lot of career opportunities when doing this master's program. So you could either go for a sustainability career, for example, work in areas such as energy systems for buildings, material flows, development of sustainable materials. Or you could choose an engineering career, for example, mechanical engineering, the semiconductor industry, or power electronics, or another option would be a scientific career, write a dissertation, become a PhD student, then maybe a postdoc, an academic researcher, or even become a professor. So, what happens after the master's degree? Our engineering and computer science graduate, they are highly sought for professionals in the industry as well as in research, really throughout the world. So you could either enter directly into a company or public institution, or you could become a doctoral student at our faculty and start your PhD. Or you could even start your own business. We have quite a lot of alumni who started their own business. We have the logos here in our presentation. We support our graduates in these endeavors. And maybe you can add your own startup to this list. Why study in Freiburg? There are a couple of very good reasons. Research and teaching are closely interlinked at our faculty, so the latest research findings, they flow directly into teaching. We have around 2,000 students, 55 professors, and so we offer an excellent student-teacher ratio that gives you really the optimal supervisory support. Also, you can earn cash while conducting research. Our faculty is quite well funded. We apply for a lot of research money for a lot of different projects every year. And this is your chance for our students to find a job as a student aide, a student assistant, research assistant, and start participating in the latest research from a very early stage already. As mentioned before, our engineering and computer science graduates, they are highly popular professionals in the industry as well as in research. We are very proud of our alumni. They are involved in various professional fields such as biomedical engineering, the automotive industry, and software companies, and many more. And last but not least, Freiburg is also one of Germany's, most attractive cities to live in. Freiburg is, the city of cobblestone streets. It's a really, future-focused environmental capital, a historic jewel at the foot of the Black Forest. And it's, as we've heard before, the sunniest city in Germany. And right now the sun is actually shining while we're holding this presentation. There's more information and program details on our website. The addresses, the URLs are listed here. You can find the Faculty of Engineering on Facebook. Freiburg University is also active on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram as well. If you have any questions, we will be very happy to answer them in a minute. Here you find our contact details. Do not hesitate to contact us after the presentation if you have any questions. Just drop us a line and we will be very happy to answer your questions and requests. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I think there are a couple of questions in the chat. Yeah, we will be very happy to answer them now.
So, perfect. Thank you very much to our colleagues for this great presentation about the programs at the university. We have some questions actually in the chat. We have actually some answers as well in the meantime for everyone asking about the presentation or the links or everything or the contacts for asking any further questions afterwards. Don't worry, if you registered for today, you're going to get an email from our colleagues from the University of Freiburg, and they're going to contact you. Maybe you will get the link to the presentation. You will also get the link to the recording, so don't worry, you will have all of the information there. Maybe I can ask you just if you can write the contact email as well in the chat, so anyone
Yes.
not wanted to wait for that email can just have the email right away for contact. And we can go maybe straight to the questions. Let me just scroll back up. So the first question is about, I'm going to read them all. I know you can all see them, but for anyone watching the recording in YouTube, they cannot see the chat. So if we just answer the questions, they're not going to know what the question was.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read the question aloud and then you can answer that. So the first question is, how is the German language support for international students who only speak English?
Yeah, maybe the participant was pointing at German language courses, I presume. Yeah, the university offers German language courses. The faculty used to offer language courses, German language courses, but not anymore. But the central administration of the university, they offer free German language courses to some extent. Well, seats are limited, but there are German language courses, and the Language Institute, they also offer German courses. There's also a language school, I remember, here in Freiburg. They also offer language courses for free, actually, within a teacher's training scheme. So that's usually twice a year we send around information emails. This language school offers these free German language courses. Yeah, as a teacher's training scheme, young teachers for German as a second language. Yeah, for their training, they offer German language courses. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to study German here in Freiburg, yeah, you're being cared for.
You have a lot of options for learning
Yes, there
German
are
at the
quite a lot of
university.
options. Yeah.
And also you can, we always tell the students here, you can always learn speaking German, for example, with your students and another students. If someone wants to learn Spanish, for example, maybe you can join them. You join for half an hour, you speak 15 minutes in German and 15 minutes in Spanish, and you both learn each other's language. It's free and you get to know many people. So that's also a very great way to learn German, and you will learn German when living in Germany. Even if you don't want to, you can, you always learn some German, even if you can move and do your life pretty much in English, I would say. I think Freiburg, it's very international in that way, and English can help you a lot, maybe in Freiburg, much more than other cities in Germany.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
I heard stories from students who would like to talk in German, but as soon as someone recognizes, oh, you're someone from far away, then they switch to English automatically. So it's sometimes even hard to get someone to talk to you in German if you are obviously a guest student or something, depending on where you're moving around. We are sometimes too helpful.
Exactly, that happens a lot. The next question is if there are scholarships available by the university or by the DAAD to support the students. Maybe I can jump in right away with the DAAD scholarships. We currently, for Chilean students, we do not have scholarships for master's levels, but we have scholarships for doctorate programs in the field of engineering. So if you want to go to the university, and as you saw, there are many options if you want to continue your career in research or do a PhD. Then we have full scholarships for PhD. I know that there are no fees. Maybe you can correct me in that way, but not fees for uh, um, doctorates at the university, but the scholarships that we have cover the rest. So if you are in Chile and you're traveling, that covers the traveling fees, and you also get a fee monthly for your all your expenses. And if you have family with you, that fee, that scholarship also covers that extra. So we have full scholarships for engineering sciences and actually for all disciplines at the doctorate level. So just get in touch with us. I don't know if maybe you want to tell us if there are any other scholarships options by the university or in the state of Baden-Württemberg.
Would you?
Unfortunately, the faculty does not offer any scholarship, and neither does the university. So the offer we could make, there is a program called Deutschland Stipendium, but you have to be a student to apply for this scholarship scheme. So this would be a possibility after your first semester here. I think the application deadline is usually in May. So if you, well, for example, would start in your winter semester or even summer semester, then you could apply for this scholarship. But the university itself or the faculty, we do not have any scholarship schemes, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the Deutschland Stipendium, that's very common for many students, not only German students, but many international students as well. So you can always apply for that. But yeah, you have to make sure that, or you have to know that it's not going to be available from the start of your studies. So if you want to apply, you have to just go to Germany, be a student. And once you're a student, then you have to have good grades, of course, and then apply for that scholarship. The next question is about life in Freiburg and is whether Freiburg is a child-friendly city.
Well, I think it depends a bit on what you would talk about in regards to child-friendly. The city itself is great. The problem right now might be the city itself is also quite expensive in regards to living space, accommodation. So if you need a big enough flat to bring your family and to bring your children, then you might need to look for a bit of a longer time to find something suitable and cheap, or at least not very expensive. That's the main problem, I think, right now for families. Otherwise, we have childcare programs here, even at the university. Kita, it's called, kindergarten. Yeah, the combination of being a student or even being a PhD student and having children is quite, yeah, good to manage. And then in regards to the city, well, there are some areas where I wouldn't recommend bringing a small child, but I think every city has some areas like that. And then there are great parks and a lot of good places for children to be with. So, yeah,
Exactly.
overall, I think it would be nice.
Just to comment on that, exactly, the city is not, it's a big city, but it's not a really massive city. So it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
getting close to get by. And as you mentioned, there are many parks as well in the city. So it's very friendly. And not only in this university, but actually in most universities in Germany, student life or researchers' life is always compatible with family life. That's something that's not very common in all countries or everywhere. For example, here in Chile, it's much more difficult to be a student and be a parent at the same time. But I know that in Germany, the laws are actually made in such a way that studying or researching doesn't disturb your personal life. So
Yes.
in that aspect, it's always it's possible always to have a family life besides your studies. The next question is about maybe the requirements for going to maybe to enroll yourself in the university. For example, if you want to study computer science or data science.
Well, the first thing, we have a program called computer science, not very explicitly data science. Obviously, you can do courses in data science as well, databases, information systems, and so on. But we don't make these differences in our programs. It's computer science or something completely different. The entrance for bachelor students is completely free as long as you are allowed to study at the university level at all. So in Germany, you would have to bring some kind of Abitur or something equivalent. On the master's level, we have a certain grade that you need. That would be 2.9 in the German grading scale. And I have to admit, I'm not an expert on the gradings in Chile. So comparable to CGPAs, that would be my colleagues who manage the international students. They tell me, a student from Chile with this and this grading would correspond to a German grading scale of. So it's a 2.9, which is not very hard to achieve that or better grade, obviously. But there is some kind of limit. We do not have a seat limit, so if you are if you fulfill all the requirements, meaning you are better than 2.9 in German grading in your first degree, you do bring the expected English language level, which would be a C1. For most of our programs, only the sustainable systems has a B2 only, but they have other requirements as well. So you should check out the details on our websites. And obviously for the PhD, you would be expected to have a degree, usually master's degree, in the area where you would like to do your PhD in. Depends a bit on, in principle, everyone can come. We do not have seat limits. So if we have 1 year, I don't know, 70 students in the Master of Embedded Systems program, and the next semester it's only 60 and then 80 or something, it depends, as long as you are bringing all the requirements overall.
Yep, just to bring it up to the Chilean perspective, if you want to go to study a bachelor's program, you only need to have finished your high school. Of course, you have to high school diploma, and if you did the test here in Chile, the PSU or Prueba de Transición, for example, that's accepted as long as you have had more than 600 points. That's very so for the Chilean perspective. And if you're going to do the PAES, which is the new tests that are going to be given this year, we still don't know if it's going to be accepted or what the points that you need are going to be. But we are actually the KMK is meeting in Germany, I think in a couple of weeks to determine that. But you can always contact us at the AD here for all the outlook and numbers. And for the master's programs, as Mrs. Knopp has said, if you need a 2.9 in German grade to start to go into a master's program in your previous studies, that means in Chilean grades are 5.1. So if you have more than a 5.1 in Chilean grade in your bachelor's degrees, then you can go to a master's program. But 5.1 is quite okay here. It's not very high. 2.9 is quite okay for Germany as well. It's not that high, so it's quite achievable. And for all the requisites, like specific for Chilean students who want you to study in Germany, you can always contact us. Every Monday we have students Beratungen, advisory sessions, so you can always contact us, and those are in Spanish, and we can always help you with that, with the specific requirements for Chilean students. The next question is it's about the Masters of Science. So it's what does MSc, what does it stand for? So it's a Masters of Science. That's one kind of degree that German universities offer. Today, we are having a special session studying engineering sciences in Germany. So quite appropriate for this session as well. And then we are going to explain the difference between studying a master's in engineering and master's in science. So we can explain that as well if you want to join us today in that session. That session is going to be today at 3 p.m. Chilean time, and it's going to be in Spanish. So that we are going to talk more about that. We talked already about their scholarships. The other question is job experience required in order to apply for a master's program?
No, definitely not. Our German students usually don't have a job between leaving school, going to do their bachelor's, and then directly going to the master's. I mean, there are students who go to work after the bachelor program, after they got their bachelor's degree, but the usual way is going all the way through school, university, and then entering the job market, which sometimes brings, a slight negative side to the industry. The employers who would be happy if their new persons have a bit more experience already. So no, we do not expect that. If you bring it, it can help more or less, especially as we also do offer the option to do an internship. It's not part of our program, so it's not mandatory, but if you're interested, you can do an internship in a company here. And then it's obviously very helpful to get it a lot quicker, or to get more offers maybe, if you can already say, I have experience in this area.
Perfect. I wrote here something down for the previous question about accommodation. Yeah, rising costs in accommodation is very commonplace in Freiburg and the rest of Germany, but also in Chile. So I think that's something that we're all
I think it's
sadly have to
worldwide
get
right
used to.
now.
Yeah, that's something that we can sadly not do anything to fight against, but still, I think rising costs everywhere. It's kind of the same to live here in Chile or in Germany. I think the prices are going to be and remain high for some time.
Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. The next question is actually three questions in one. So the first part is if can I validate certain courses of the master's program in the PhD program? I think that's maybe, if I understand it correctly, if you study the master somewhere else and you do the PhD at the university there, if there's some validation possible. That's quite common, but maybe you can tell us
Yeah,
about that.
the thing is, in Germany, the PhD system is not actually a regular study program or study course. It's more independent research. You have a so-called doctor father or doctor mother, a supervisor who leads you through your topic, your research topic you looked for, and usually as a PhD student, it's not, or better, it's not unusual that you are also full-time or part-time a member of the chair of the professor who is your supervisor. So by side effect, you earn some money while doing so. And in that regards, it can happen that one or two lectures are given to you as a condition before you hand in your PhD thesis. You have to prove that you passed this or that lecture, but that's not the usual way to do so. So that's why it's nearly impossible to bring a course and have it count as part of your PhD studies here. You do have to prove that you have high enough level of research knowledge reached, usually by having a master degree. If you do not have a master's degree yet, then There is some exemption, but I have to admit I'm not the expert for that. We do provide a website, and I'll copy the link into the chat in the next few seconds. I'm not very good at multitasking. So please have a look there if you're interested in all the PhD things. 6-year engineering is equivalent to a master's degree. That might be the case, but I don't know. I'm very sorry. You would have to just maybe reach out to our experts colleague who is responsible for the PhD programs. They should be able to answer that.
Exactly. That's as in many German universities, that's quite another office. So you can write them directly and they will sure know the answer. For the rest, I'm going to leave here our email if you have more questions, but also our website where you can log in or register yourself for participating in our information sessions. We have two different ones, one from a bachelor's and master's program, because their application and everything is very similar. And we have one extra for doctorate, because as Mrs. Noppe mentioned, it's quite different, the doctorate in Germany, as what we have here in Chile. And there we explain what the different kinds of doctorate are, if you want to do a structured doctorate or a normal doctorate in Germany, a traditional one. And we explain everything there. So you can join that session for more information, how to apply and how the Chilean system applies for that. There we can also explain as was next in the questions, the Chilean grades versus the German grading system. We can explain all of that over there, so don't worry. We have all of that information for you. Perfect.
That's great. Thank you, because
Yeah,
in
for
these
every country
details
it's
we would
different.
be
So
lost.
exactly, no, and for every country it's different. So we understand, and it's also changing as well. For example, with its university entrance tests, it's been changed here in Chile as well. So in the last few years, we have to adapt ourselves also to know what the equivalent is or whether it is equivalent or not. But don't worry, that's our job, so we can help you with that, and we have the necessary information. Perfect. I think that covers all of the questions that we had in the chat. There you have also the email addresses from us all and the link for applying for doctoral and postdoctoral studies also at the university. Perfect. So before we close, I don't know if you have any, Mrs. Andreasen or Mrs. Noffa, if you have any final comments for students or suggestions or anything that you want to say to everyone interested in applying to the university.
Well, first of all, thank you again for listening so patiently. I know it's a lot of information all at once, and maybe you are only interested in a very small part of it. So thanks for listening so patiently, like I said. Yeah, I think I would be happy if some of you contacted us and maybe even came here sometime in the future, got to know us in person, got to know a university in person, and on the other side, yeah, I hope you all stay healthy, because here in Germany, the next, yeah, the big wave of the COVID situation is coming up, and we learned, I think in our department, nearly everyone had it at one point already. You can be as careful as you'd like. Yeah, so face masks can be a big part of student life here. At the moment, it's not mandatory, but who knows when the rules will change again. On the other hand, yeah, if you want to learn about Germany, learn about our system, travel is always useful. We also learned, I think, that only online is not the very best the world can offer. So maybe see you.
Exactly, we're all eager to see each other in person once again. I mean, virtual life is quite great for some things like this talk, for example. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
possible if we didn't have this
Yes.
technology, but for some time, for some information or for classes especially, it's not the same as being sitting at home than actually being there, enjoying the city of Freiburg and just living your life as an international student in Germany, which I can always recommend having been there myself. So, thank you very much for the presentation today, from giving us your time, from joining us from Germany. And we hope that as we now have 5 Chilean students in Freiburg, that in the near future we have much more students over there. If you made it to Freiburg, just write us a postcard, and we'll always be happy to know that you made it
Oh,
to the southern part of Germany. So, for everyone interested in the presentation, it's going to be available today in our YouTube site, and you're going to also receive that per email from our colleagues from Germany, maybe today, tomorrow, because today's our colleagues maybe are going home. It's much later in Germany now, so during
yeah,
for the
it's
rest of the
4
week, we're
o'clock in the
going to be
afternoon.
exactly. So we are starting our day here, and you're about to finish your labor day over there, but during the week you will get all of the rest of the information. Remember to follow us. Again, we have more sessions with other universities, and we have some special sessions as well, like today, studying engineering in Germany, which if you've been here today, that's going to be very useful for you. So remember to join us for that as well, and for all of the presentations that we have on our scholarships and everything related to studying in Germany. Thank you once again, everyone. Danke to our colleagues in Germany, and I hope to see you very soon.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
as
Muchas
well.
gracias. Hasta
See you next
pronto.
time. Auf Wiedersehen.